What's up, everybody? Hey everybody, Editor Jake here. I'm going to be making a Q&A video for hitting 500 subscribers, so please leave any questions you have for me in the comments down below. On with the video. We are back. We are here. It is time for the Nabalis Canyon quick thoughts. Let's get into it. First off, this is not sharp. The Nabalis Canyon is not sharp. It comes in trainer and false live blade. False live blade looks like a live blade, but it's not. And we're going to talk about it. So, obviously, this is a quick thoughts video. I have had the Canyon for some amount of time now, so I've been able to kind of gather some more thoughts on it, kind of get a sense of what it's like. And we're going to talk about it. Overall, I think that the Canyon is quite good. Does it have its downsides? Yeah, I'd say so. But there's also a lot of good things with the Canyon. And for starters, the best thing to me about the Canyon is the fact that it's all steel. Now, the fact that it's all steel is helping it in a number of ways. It brings down the cost. It helps with grip, but we'll get there. It also, I think it looks cool with how skeletonized these handles are, which is because it's steel. It also greatly increases the durability of this Balisong. This is probably the toughest Balisong in my collection. I have not tested that. That's just knowing that it's steel. It's kind of how steel is. But yeah. And to me, the biggest thing about it being all steel is that it's opened a whole new market. In theory, at least. Companies can now make all steel Balisongs that flip good, and people will buy them. Nabalis proved that it can be done, so I'm sure that at some point we'll start seeing it. Like I was talking about, the grip on the Canyon is very good. I think that maybe if it was aluminum, it would be pretty bad grip. But the steel gives way more grip than aluminum ever did. And the fact that the handles are so skeletonized with these giant cutouts is so much grip. It feels like I'm holding a sandwich Balisong when I'm holding the sides of it. And the faces are also really good. This cutout does a great job, and then these little indents that they put right up here, right where you're going to be holding it for most rollovers and kind of tricks like that, it just works really well. It's clear that a lot of thought went into this design. Chaplain's super comfortable, beautiful, nice blade spine, feels great. And in my opinion, I think the sound of it is quite good. Out of the box, it was near silent, but that goes away once the, kind of polished black finish wears out, which, you'll do within a day. So it's still quiet. It is one of the quieter Balisongs that I own, but it's not as quiet as like a G10 Balisong, for instance. Speaking of sound, it has a ring. Ring, kind of depends on personal preference, how you feel about that. I like the ring. It's not obnoxious, but I have found if I flip this thing for like an hour straight or something, I will get a headache from the ring. So there is that. However, I believe Zippy, our good friend, makes inserts for the Canyon that go in the handles, and I assume that they get rid of the ring, since the handles are what's ringing, because the blade can't. Now, when it comes to balance on the Canyon, well, to me it feels very neutral. Obviously I don't just want to use that word because it's different to everyone, but it's a very balanced flipper in terms of weight. I definitely would not call this handle bias. If it is, it's very slight. But the distribution is also very good. It's very evenly distributed. There doesn't really feel like there's a hot spot for weight. And I will say that the blade carries a lot of momentum. The handles, they do have some extra metal at the ends, but really not anything. So the blade being solid steel actually does a better job of carrying momentum than the handles. But I wouldn't call it blade bias, because they're very even with each other. It's just that the momentum is largely being moved around by the blade. So, you know, I can feel the momentum shifting more so with the blade than with the handles. But it still flips very good. But I think that the momentum being carried by the blade is why so many people online have said that it's a weird flipper and that it doesn't flip like a normal Balisong. And that's just because of how light the handles are. Obviously, if there was more weight in the handles, this problem would probably be gone. If they added pivots down here or just a bit more metal. But then I think it might get a bit heavy. Of course, they could add like a fuller in the blade, which is just like a cutout. Something like that would help. But I don't think it needs it. I think it flips very well. I think it's unique, which I think is a very important thing to be in this hobby when everything is so similar, you know. It's one thing to look unique, but if you don't flip unique, then if you're not the best type of, if you're not the best at that type of flipping, people aren't going to use you. It's like why so many people use the Kraken. It just flips really well. So if you flip like a Kraken, but you're not as good as the Kraken, people aren't going to flip you as much as the Kraken, because the Kraken's better. That's why it's good to be unique. You know, if I'm picking up my Canyon, it's because I'm looking for a different experience than I would get with, say, my Nautilus or my Volp. And that's what I think the Canyon does a really good job at. It's a very budget-friendly Balisong that offers a very unique flipping experience. I heard something over there. That's why we dropped it. Trust. Yeah, I think it's very unique. And I like that about it. I think it's good. I definitely think if you're looking to buy a Canyon, I would go for it. I enjoy it. If you like the design like I do, you can't lose. Now, some people online have said that this might be a bad Balisong for a beginner to use because they might have a hard time adjusting. I personally don't buy that. I started on a like $15 fully stainless steel Amazon trainer, and then I went to a Squiddy C, and I was fine. And let me tell you, you cannot get any more different than a Squiddy C in a $15 CCC from Amazon. So, if you're a beginner and you want to get this as your first Balisong, it's not going to mess you up in the long run. You're going to be fine. I think this is very good. I think you'll like it. I do briefly want to mention, because it does this so well, if you really like fans, you're going to love this Balisong. It does fans so well. Like, I'm not very good at doing most types of fans, but like the choker fans on this are so good. And I can't even do a good choker fan, but like that was perfect. I'm trying to do the fan to choker fan, but it's not too good at those at the moment. But the choker fans on this are absolutely incredible. It just does them. Like if you don't do choker fans, they're kind of like you got to get the momentum going and then keep it going. This one just like doesn't need that. It just does the choker fan. Like you don't feel like you're creating momentum. It's like you're just like suggesting like, hey, you want a choker fan? And it's like, yes, I do. So yeah, I really like the choker fans on it. But other than that, there's not like a single trick I've done that really stands out. I will mention that the tip on this is sharp, is pointy. It does hurt if you like do that, but it's not nearly as sharp as like a Volp Pro, which is like basically a live blade tip. I know Nabalis has some tips that are like that. The one on the Canyon is not like that. It is much more rounded, which I appreciate. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I got for you today. Canyon is good, is very grand. I like ring, mid. Obviously, this is pinsless, so handle gap is still a concern. If something changes, I'll let you know. So far, it's holding up pretty good. So, you know, we'll see. But yeah, leave a comment. I read those always. I get video suggestions from there. I hope you've all had a wonderful day. And until next time, can we land an aerial? Ooh, we did. Keep flipping.